Hi, I'm Blanche and I'm a campaigns director at 38 Degrees. Thank you so much for volunteering to make phone calls to help save our NHS.
Hi, can I speak to India, please?
Yeah, that's me. Hello.
Hi, India. My name is Megan. I'm calling with a quick survey about the NHS. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
You're one of over 10,000 members of 38 Degrees who have signed up to make these calls, and that's amazing. I think this could be one of the most important things we can do right now to fight for our NHS. NHS Calling is all about encouraging people to use their vote and to vote with the NHS in mind. The more people we talk to, the more likely we are to wake up after the election to a government that knows it has to protect our health service.
So I'm volunteering for the Save Our NHS campaign, and I want to ask you a few questions about the general election in a few weeks' time and about protecting our National Health Service. Are you planning on voting on May 7th?
I think I will vote.
The 38 Degrees office team has put together a few things to help you with NHS calling. There's a script for you to use on the phone and a guide to help you answer the most commonly asked questions. There's also the simple NHS calling website that you can make the calls from.
Registering on the site and making calls is really easy. Once you see this page, just click here, register here to start making calls. You need to put in your first name, your last name, your email address, and a username. That can be anything. I'm just going to put my initial and my last name, and then again password, whatever you want it to be. Just make sure it's something you'll remember. Click that you understand that calls might be recorded. That's just so we can make sure that nothing's gone wrong, and then click sign up now and you're into the site.
Whenever you make calls, you'll be one of thousands of us fighting to protect our NHS. We'll be doing this from our kitchens and living rooms all across the country.
You'll then be prompted to put in your phone number. It's really important you put in the number of the phone that you want to use to make calls from. The site will call you. When you answer, you'll be connected. You'll be able to see the script and who you're calling, but the calls won't cost you a thing. And I'm going to click Connect to Call Centre. And then I'm going to answer my phone. Once you've read through the script and you're feeling ready to start a conversation, click the button that says Ready for Call. When it connects you, you'll see a name appear on the right-hand side and you'll be able to see where they live. Scroll down the right-hand side and you'll see questions to click on once they answer a question about whether they're going to vote, whether they're registered, whether they care about the NHS.
It's a good idea to sit down with a cup of tea or a glass of water before you start. You could read through the script so you're familiar with it and then get started. A few of the 38 Degrees members who've already tried this out haven't had much experience of speaking to strangers on the phone, but they said they felt a bit nervous to begin with, but they ended up enjoying themselves. After all, most people are friendlier than you think. When you get through to people on the phone, it's important to be polite, but don't spend too long on the call if it's clear the person you're speaking to doesn't want to chat with you. If you can tell straight away that they don't seem to be interested, just thank them for their time, say goodbye and move on to the next call. It's important these calls go well for you as well as for the person on the other end of the phone.
So for me, the NHS is one of the most important things I think about when I vote. And I'm really worried that right now funding's being cut, private companies are taking over really important services and waiting times are getting longer. How about you? Do you think protecting the NHS is going to be a really important issue for you when you decide who you'll vote for on May 7th?
The NHS is really important. It's easy to forget how lucky we are, really.
It's also really important that you don't tell people who to vote for. 38 Degrees is independent from all political parties, so we cannot use these calls to tell people who to vote for. This is all about reminding people to make sure they use their vote and that they vote with the NHS in mind.
Would it be useful for us to send you some information about what the parties are saying about the NHS and what local candidates near you are also saying about what they do to protect the NHS?
Yeah, that would be pretty useful, yeah.
Will you promise to think about protecting the NHS this election?
Yeah, I can definitely promise you that, yeah.
If people want information about what voting with the NHS in mind means, you can encourage them to look into where their local candidates stand. You'll find information about this on the NHS Calling website. You can also point them in the direction of the website Vote Match, which is an independent site that lets people match their views to the UK political parties' views. Don't worry, you'll find all the links to this on the NHS Calling website. If the person you're talking to isn't sure if they're registered to vote, you can take down their email address and the 38 Degrees office team will send them a link to somewhere where they can make sure they're registered. The script that you've been given is a guideline. It can help shape the conversation and you're welcome to stick to it closely, but don't worry if you go a bit off script.
Not a problem. Thanks so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much and good luck with making all of the calls.